probably be a few more minutes. Both guys gotta check in. Rooting for zombies? Yeah. Not gonna lie. Be very cool to see them win. Fan favorite deck. Be cool to see GBO secure that. But he's got to go through the champ here, the top dog, Mr. Alefia himself. He might be taking the win. I didn't watch the entire thing. I know that. Actually, while we're waiting, why don't we just only watch this while we're waiting? I'm not sure. Those guys haven't checked. Alefia's checked in, but I don't know where GBO is. But we can watch that while we're waiting. I don't want to leave. The thing is in desolate silence right now. You don't want to sit. You don't want to sit here and watch me yap for 30 minutes. So only watch something while we're waiting. Oh god. Okay, where is this replay? Oops. I'm just gonna rip this slash from. The game versus Splevin, right? Yeah. It was literally the semi-final. I'll throw it up in here. We gotta check this out while we're waiting. Apparently, Splevin got hit pretty hard. I didn't watch the whole thing. Splevin on PCM. Okay. T-pose. It's an okay start for the deck. Trooper. Pretty good mills, considering we have a pre-met. This D-Priz can't answer it. Okay, I think, let's see his slowness. Heavy? Well, Heavy's gonna wipe out whatever that thing is anyway. Double coaster. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're already oh god. Do I even need to watch the rest? Okay, they're here. They're here. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, okay, I've seen enough. that is savagery, man. Poor Splev. Okay, these guys are here. Dude, that is. I know. That is like Trooper milling 2 zombies. Then he has the double coaster and the pre-mat and just goes to town. Okay, looks like you guys load up. Janjo is here. Hi, Janjo. What's going on, brother? We got Prada here. We got Clive here. The homies are in the chat. We wanted to see what happens. DB stacking, yeah. As some would have, and some I believe. Okay. I'm gonna get pulled real quick before once GBO's loading in. I'm just calling Alefia's deck Hero Warrior. I don't know what else to call it. It's like Warriors and Heroes. Okay, I'm gonna start the pull. It looks like just Polls underway. Oh, for these game players. Okay, here we go, guys. We have the grand finals of Disc Commander Classic 12. For these two pros, it's just another Tuesday. It is just another 9 to 5 for these game players. But needless to say, it's pretty exciting for us. Lucky I would win RPs. This is going to be really good for him. Granted, he's on the Warrior deck and he can just set up his back row with relative ease. Okay, my chat is picking out. Not a crazy start, but still getting... Oh, okay, never mind. The dust shoot. It's gonna affect zombies a little bit more because they want to get those cards out of the deck. Looks like GBO has a Brain Control, Mystical Space Typhoon, Book of Life, Snipe Hunter, Rat, Morphing Jar. Yeah, the... that Rat's going to go back into the deck, so that's going to leave GBO with a Snipe Hunter and a Morphing Jar. I do believe Alethea is on the main deck Nox, so GBO's going to have to really time out this this Morphing Jar. The game lag and reset, I have no idea. It looks fine to me. GBO's going to T-pose pretty much about everything. Probably doesn't worry about Heavy Storm. Or run into it. There's the knock, yep. That's gonna... little bit telegraphed, but GBO really had to get the momentum back in. Considering once Alethea just has a fix, his deck is just gonna keep rolling that snowball. Snipe's just gonna come in, gonna kind of flush out this, looking for some back row. Alethea just gonna take the direct hit. I think he's just fine to do so. Snipe Hunter being quite a questionable card. It has its moments, but players are really iffy on the card itself. Considering like it has a pretty decent effect of being able to knock out any card in the field. But it's really hard for the player if they keep hitting 1s or 6s because they're pretty much just minusing themselves into oblivion. GBO looks like is getting some few hits on Alethea, which tells me Alethea may not have a bunch of good warriors to play on the field right now. Or he's just kind of taking his time to look for the right line to hit him with. Because he has to consider Brain Control, MST, and Book of Life as the cards, I think. Oops. That was a wrong card, unfortunately. He does hit the Solemn, but Alethea still has a dangerous amount of acro. Chiron, yeah. That card, it sees niche play. Chiron does have a higher stat line, but you are forced into you are forced into discarding spells and has a once per turn. So I think Snipe Hunter has some credibility, a little more credibility over Chiron, but it really depends on the format in the deck. That Kaiku is gonna be really harsh this is gonna be really harsh first game for GBO. Got hit by a dust shoot, lost a card to knock. Now Kaiku's just gonna banish out that graveyard. So this also means GBO can't use Book of Life. Even if he were to have a zombie in the graveyard. Then again, you can't use it anyway because Alethea has nothing right now. GBO just gonna have to survive on this back foot here. The call is gonna grab likely a Stratos out of the deck. Yeah. It's not worried about Rug or anything. He knows the other two cards are BrainCon and Book of Life. If it's a turtle, then GBO has a... Oh, okay, cool. Might be Clive, because that just might be the case. It looks like GBO had the Pyramid Turtle, which is really nice. Got himself into an Old Blood. If this Old Blood resolves, it's gonna give GBO a little bit momentum back, but he does have to consider the 3 set cards. Zombies are... I think people do want to see the zombies win and come through and get their W here in the multi-day, but Alethea proving that he is extremely consistent with this warrior hero deck. He's going to use normal summon and he's going to summon effect. It is lagging a bit. Illblood's going to bring back the Pyramid Turtle. What is Alethea going to do? It makes sense to try to use a Battle Trap here, because you don't really want Turtle to fish things out of the deck. But he might be saving a defense card for the Old Blood. No, he's going to use the Priz. Sucks having a lot of his zombies banished. But if GBO made it this far with them... What's up, Ellie? Blood Art is so cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting card design. Very Japanese surreal looking. DP is great on Turtle. Yeah. You don't want GBO to dig his stuff out of the deck. Blood gonna use the effect, bring back Zombie Master, and is he gonna... No, he doesn't have anything to summon, unfortunately. Unless he discards from the hand, which is the unique ruling of Zombie Master in this format, or this brief 2007 early 08 period, where you can literally have no zombies in the graveyard, but you can still pitch a level 4 zombie for the Zombie Master effect, and then special summon that same zombie. It's such a weird ruling. But given its zombies are still a very rogue option, it's kind of some help that they need. Exile's gonna go plus off here because destroying the Old Blood also destroys the monsters tethered to it. As a weird way the effect works. And he's gonna bring that Kaiku, and if these hits go in, GBO's just gonna lose even more monsters from the graveyard. Yeah, that's such an interesting comparison. It's like Machina Fortress. Janjo, we were watching some footage earlier of GBO's win in the semifinals, where he literally opened the nuts with Trooper milling 2 zombies, and then he had a Premature Burial and 2 card to safe returns in hand. And he basically was able to go uninterrupted swarm of zombies and just out-card advantage the opponent completely. Like, we saw zombies in full combo, and that shit's scary, man. Like, the whole hand and field just gets flooded up, and you're literally, like, against impossible odds. Luffy's gonna think at the end of battle phase here. I wonder what he's planned. Is he gonna... Does he have a Call of the Haunted or something? I wonder what he's gonna plan. End of battle phase is okay. The BOL. Here we go. Now get that Kaiku off the field. Now he can properly use this card. And he's got the Turtle, and he's probably looking to... GBO's right now something. Life advice: don't let zombies do whatever they want. They will eat your brains. Gonna banish the exile. Okay, call the haunted. He's gonna... I love he's gonna grab that exiled forest. I guess it was smart for him to wait. Now, Book of Life is still gonna resolve as much as possible, so GBO is still gonna get his monster. GBO fighting back pretty good here. Not as oppressive as I was kind of leading myself to believe. GBO definitely benefits from the longer games here, because more access to the graveyard and more zombies coming out. Means he has more to work with and multiple ways to recur the monsters, whether it's Book of Life, pre-mat, call, and all that. We're gonna get that Spirit Reaper, that one of Spirit Reaper out of the graveyard. Because I think if you're a Lefia, you kind of just want to rush them down and win as fast as possible before they can get their full setup going. Breaker's gonna come out. Rug's gonna counter. Yeah, second BOL. So yeah, GBO's starting to crawl back in. So Lefia is probably in trouble now. Man. Nothing's decided until the last life point. He has that Fissure, so he's kind of... Fissure, unfortunately, is not going to touch that Koki. Oh, and then Sangan is going to mow down Stratos. Lefia's got to draw something, or his goose may be cooked. This better be the top deck of the century. Unfortunately, it is... Well, not unfortunately, but... no Dark Warrior. Yeah, GBO's game. If Lefia doesn't summon a Beacon. So, Lefia... I think he's beat. I don't know. That Sangan is... I think he's done. Yeah, I think this closes. Yeah, that's it. Zombies take game 1. GBO had a bit of a rough start, losing a bunch of his monsters through banishment and, of course, the Dust Shoot. But he was able to grind his way back into the duel, get the cards he needs, and yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll see how these guys side for the match. I'm not 100% sure what Alefia's side deck is. I guess we'll find out. If he has something like D-Fissure and Macro, it could be really problematic for GBO. But we'll see. So far, it's looking good for the Team Zombies. But Lefia's so start. Yeah, it seemed like he had the right. It seemed like he had a pretty decent amount of spell traps, but he just didn't have the warriors in hand to get in on his life points early. What were the standout cards for you in this tournament? Admittedly, I haven't watched too much of the replays. I've just been... These last few weeks, I've just been more busy than normal, so I really haven't caught all of the replays. There were some... there was a standout deck, Clive. I know you were talking about it in Janjo's server. It was the Simply Zerg's Phantom Beast build, where he's using those weird Phantom Beast cards from like late 2006. Which we can show later. Yeah, Kaiku is I'm surprised I don't see Kaiku more in this format because he affects. There's a lot of, especially for Perfect Circle, which uses so much of the graveyard. I'm surprised that Kaiku doesn't come out that often, because there's plenty of decks that do have things that banish cards, or at least like that can protect your graveyard from banishing cards, and as well as like getting the graveyard set up out of your opponent. I'm surprised Kaiku just isn't used more often. Maybe it's just like awkward deck building. But I think personally, I think Kaiku should be more considered, but it may come down to like a deck building issue and where he exactly fits in, because he does seem to counter quite a bit of things. Like you can't activate Mali under him. You can't. It saves your graveyard from DD Crow. Just as a couple examples. I can probably find some more, but it's probably somewhat rough for Diamond Dude Turbo if they can't banish their warriors. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a synergy. Yeah, it might be a synergy thing. That's what I was thinking of. Because Kaiku is definitely a good card. It's just a matter of applying it deck building wise. Clive also mentioned Horn of Heaven. It's a bit. It really depends, I feel. It's great to negate summons, especially when you don't have to pay half your life points for them, but it's really bored and it's really situational in my opinion. Like Horn of Heaven, like it sometimes is just a really bad top deck, or sometimes it just gets wing blasted or something like that, and that's really brutal. We did see, we saw for a second, we saw the GPOs using the Vampire Lord. I think this is super cool. A card that was really counted out. Yeah, I haven't seen GBO's full list, but we have Mr. Vampire Lord in here, rolling with the zombie gang here, and don't think it's half bad because there's plenty of cards that destroy. So, Vampire Lord being another self-sustainable monster. It's an okay stat line. I think that's what really holds it back from being like outstanding. Is 2000 isn't really spectacular. But Vampire Lord has some. If I think about it, just through theory, like Vampire Lord has some pretty interesting applications. For one, I think it still has the old errata. So if it gets popped in your hand by Crush Card Virus, that should cause it to come back in the standby phase, just off for one. And another is that there's still plenty of things like Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, that there's still a lot of generic destruction effects in this format, which Vampire Lord can sustain through. Yeah, but super interesting to see. We see the Cypher Soldier on that GBO sided in for this. Yeah, Vampire Lord. Still some pretty niche applications, because as Prada mentioned, D-Priz and DD Warrior Lady are really troubling for the card, as well as getting like Ryzed or Wing Blasted. Has its hard time getting around the bounce effects. But I trust in GBO. He's an excellent player. He's topped in some of these formats, if not one, with some pretty unconventional builds. He's not just playing the definitive meta. So it's always exciting to see what GBO's got working. Well, if you're not going to mill 2 off of the deck, Turtle is going to look for a Ryukoki, I think. Oh no, unless he doesn't have it. Oh, it was a top card. Oh, Illblood, never mind. But he should still have Ryukoki unless he decided it out for some reason. That's gonna be it for GBO, unfortunately. But not gonna be able to push his way out of this game too. Oh yeah, Alethea. Oh yeah, my gosh, like Alethea is a. You've seen him in GOAT format, and even some of the other DM, GX, and 5D stuff. He's a certified Iron Chef, and it's kind of a I don't know if it's like a joke, but it's like a thing in the community where like Alethea can take some tier 4 deck or like some table 500 build and just get into top cut with it. He's just that good, and his fundamentals are just so above and beyond that, and his understanding of the game from a mechanical and a like deck building point of view, that he can just top with some really weird builds. Like you see it in GOAT a lot. He has some pretty unconventional takes on existing builds. Granted, he will still play meta here and there. I know in the last Yada tournament, he was pretty much doing a standard tomato build, but yeah, other than that, he was one of the GOATs for sure. Yeah, both these guys are great players, and it's always interesting to see what they're doing. So I had to stream a finals. I had to stream this finals because like there's no way this isn't exciting. Ikaros, yeah, who is also in the community, is much more involved in the more modern formats, but he has taken a recent interest in the DM and GX era side of the game. We've seen him now play these old DM formats like YK and Critter, and even the recent Chaos tournament. Even freaking Fiber, man. Dump Truck got him into Fiber. I don't know. I guess anyone's a Fiber player now. You want to see Six Samurai make it to a top 4? It can happen. It seems the way this landscape oh my gosh, that is a brutal that's pretty harsh pro set heavy. GBO's gonna be forced to burn his life points. GX army grows. Yeah. By increments. It's mostly GX is mostly like GOAT, obviously, which is in my opinion more of its own thing. It's mostly been around Perfect Circle. GX formats are really difficult to advertise to the mass majority of players. Because you have the Block of Stein formats, which, oh my gosh, GBO coming out with his own brutal move. Because you have that Block of Stein formats, and with Cyberstein being one of the most unanimously hated cards in retro play, does that alone gatekeeps a lot of players. On top of stuff like Confi and Graceful Charity. Chimera Tech has a little bit of a interest going around. It's one of the more like stable formats. It's after Cyberstein's banned and before Crush Card's release, so Chimera Tech is a little bit of like a safe ground in a way. And then you go into like 2007 with the Triple Trooper stuff, and so some of a lot of the power cards existing, like Confiscation, Snatch, and Ring makes for really like explosive format, maybe too fast for people's liking. And then you go after Perfect Circle, which is like Dad Return, which is, we all know what Phantom Darkness did to the game, and then the format follows suit Gladiator, which I don't think is terrible, but there's a few degenerate things going around, and not everybody likes the fact that Gladiator Beasts are like the best deck. So my point being is that it's pretty difficult to get the mass majority into these GX formats. There's just a lot of interactions like Stein and Crush Card that people really hate. Like, they rather play DM with the triple hand rips and fucking double charities and all kinds of toxic stuff. Like, fuck, it's easier to get people into Chaos format with things like Chaos Emperor Dragon, and we all know it's like top deck power hell, the top deck power spell powwow. Like people, you can get more people into that than you can into like a Stein format or even one with like the Crush card Pyrus. But I am trying. I still represent these formats. I'm not the best at soliciting and these formats to people in general, but you know I'll still stand by them. And yeah, they're not. There's not as many nostalgic points for people. On the topic of going back to the topic of GOAT, yes, it's technically a like GX format because that's when the first like GX cards were released. But I really consider it more of its like own thing, just because the first GX cards have zero impact on the meta, and it's more that bridge between the DM and GX. Like it's probably leans more to being a DM format than a GX one. You and me both. You and me both, Prada-rama. Prada, you ready to kick ass and take some names in the Star Strike event? Are you ready to show people what GKs are all about? It's weird because in the TCG, the DM and anime still win. Yeah, True. It is a product of the period. While I was yapping my heart out, we saw Zombies take the W here. Oh, it's happened. There you go, you guys. Zombie Gang wins. I got carried away yapping about the freaking GX formats, but my man GBO here coming in to clinch the match with the Zombies. That's got to be it'll be fun for people to see. Leffy is mentioning here that this is kind of a rough match for Warriors. I think Zombies can just grind it out. You're fighting him in Fiber now. Well, good luck, Ellington can. If anyone can do it, it's you. Yeah, that was exciting. I was talking through most of it, but Zombie Gang is the real one. Cool. So we're gonna wait for these guys to report and submit the replay, and then I'm gonna do the coverage, and we can see the top 8. You can see the top cut for this event. We'll just give it a moment here. We'll just chill in the meantime. Everybody wish Ellington Ken good luck on the Fiber match. May the ERNG be blessed, and may you open with graceful charity and a hand rip. I believe in you. Look, they're about to play right now. Look at that. Look at that. GBO in chat. GBO, congrats. Nice win with the Zombie Gang. The stream here voted, the majority of votes were for Zombies, so you made several people very happy. They believed in you, and you came through. We're about to get the coverage up in just a moment. Be sure to submit that replay, and I'll do the coverage. We could, in the meantime, we'll be either watching. We could just watch GBO, or we could play against the Edison terrorist here. Clemens, what's going on? We got a nice turnout today. Usually I only get like 2 people, maybe 1, but the whole gang's here. All my pals are here to watch the Zombies win. Where's that I should grab the replay. It would have been from Alefia's perspective. Let's fill the void with some tunes. Let the replay. Sometimes it takes a minute because Dueling Books might be a bit slow to generate the link. We can always watch. We'll watch some stuff in the meantime once GBO gets the filmage. Uh, uh, please stand by. Don't touch that dial, kids. I guess I can. In the meantime, I can talk about what's next for the Perfect Circle. The next, I'll either throw another multi-day in a few weeks on FL again, or my plan was to try to get a Perfect Circle detox tournament in, and that would be detox by definition. Well, not by definition. The meaning behind detox is to like go back to an earlier time in the format where, in this case, people were playing the proverbial Perfect Circle mirrors, which a lot of the old heads will praise. Or some of the older, the more experienced players like reminisce about the days of Perfect Circle mirrors. So I'm planning to do like a Perfect Circle detox where we all play the same Perfect Circle Monarch list. I have one that's from Salchis Ruin that's pretty good. For those who don't know, Salchis, he hasn't played that much anymore in the recent days. I think he's retired. He's just living his best life, not being on digital dueling book simulators. But if you ask many people on the Discord, he's regarded as one of, if not the best, Perfect Circle pilot. He's taken multiple tournaments in the past, and he even came out of the woodwork not too long ago when Dump Truck had a live event, and he still came back and proved how good he was. I want to try either be another PC multi-day, just classic PC, or I'm gonna try to do a Perfect Circle detox event where it's a bunch of Perfect Circle mirrors, and some of the boys in the court can get their that beef on. Has he done it? Okay, there, he's got the replay. I'm just gonna end the event. Now we're gonna see the what the top 8 decks were, and then some. There's another list I want to show just because it's so crazy. It's what Zerg did with the Phantom Beasts. There's weird there's 3 Phantom Beast cards they released. It was like this Wildhorn, like Thunder Pegasus, and this Iron Crosswing. Another one was like Rock Lizard, but it didn't really fit like the build. Anyway, I'll show you guys in a bit, but it's like these 3 Phantom Beast cards in it, and it like slides into a build with like Mana Core of Darkness. And Zerg wasn't doing too half bad, so there's still a little bit of room to cook up a Storm in PC, even though before it's been regarded as like, if you were to ask people like several years ago, it'd be like, oh yeah, it's Perfect Circle Monarch is the best deck, and maybe Macro Monarch has the best chance of beating consistently, but everything else is like rubbish compared to everything else is dog compared to the Perfect Circle Monarch. But some of the landscape has changed, and we're seeing a lot more of these other I don't want to say rogue, but seeing a lot of other decks I guess improve or make some progression. Like, we just had zombies now. I know Volcanic was really something people didn't consider, and then it came out during the whole Guari era of PC monthlies, even being praised as a definitive tier 0 unbeatable deck. But it seems like a lot of stuff is just in decent contention with Perfect Circle Monarch. I don't know if it's like it's good. I don't know if it's forcing Perfect Circle to be more adaptive with their build or what, because PCM can't really just build exclusively for the mirror anymore, even if there's still a decent amount of representation, just because we're getting this wider variety of decks coming in and out, whether it's Diamond Dude Turbo, whether it's, I guess, Burn, whether it's frick, even these zombies, or even these Rushdown Warriors like Alefia's doing. Like Alefia's deck, I think, was like pretty good for taking down like PCM and other just Monarch builds. But we'll check out this. Okay, the coverage is coming around, and we're finally gonna see this top 8. Thank you guys for waiting. Any second now. Because before in these tournaments, it was like at least 50% or more of the representation for top 8s was PCM, like undisputedly. But now we're seeing other stuff. We're seeing more of a variety in the top 8. It's pretty crazy how much has changed. I don't know whether it's because some of the other PCM experts are just not involved, or if like people are adapting their builds to have an easier time against PCM, or what it is, or they're just really moving off of decks that aren't really too impactful. I don't think there's really a clear-cut answer, unless someone can provide some better context. Okay, here it is, guys. Brace yourselves, it's gonna be a bit spicy. I'll adjust my overlay here a bit. So we can properly see this. Okay. That should be alright. Here's the top 8. I can see more of it because I have a subscription to FL. But here is your guys' winning list. Surprisingly enough, there isn't a crazy amount of main deck monsters. Do you think zombies would be at least at like 8, pushing the 18s, the 20s, the 21s even, because they want as many they want full access to this line of monsters, but maybe it's better to have the utility cards as opposed to the mass amount of zombies themselves. We're not quite using cards like Magical Merchant, I see, to try to push things into the graveyard. He's got the triple book going on, the triple card to save for turn, the double swap, the double knock, of course. Knock being a regular main deck, I think, also proves to be a challenge for PCM. Whether it's affecting hitting the Spy or set Sangan or set Reaper, I don't know. Pretty clean cut list too. There's nothing too like. There's nothing too. It seems like the ratios are good. Seems like they're pretty good. Side deck, we got the interesting. Okay, so Vampire Lord was a card in the side deck. I think that does come in as a matchup specific. I can imagine against PCM, it may not be all that spectacular, but if it's against a deck like Warriors or Gadgets, which are running a lot of generic removal cards, then Vampire Lord is just going to keep sticking on the field. So, matchup-specific Vampire Lord, I'd like to see it. Interesting, got the 1 Crow, got the triple Rug for the Monarchs, and the triple Dust Tornado, and this card that comes up sometimes, not often, this Master of Barriers, looks like a card to counter, for countering Macro Monarch. I'm trying to think what else it might. I guess it can. It's got to be a counter to Macro Monarch, because I know any macro build, because that's probably the zombie, one of the hardest counters to the zombie deck. Since all monsters are normal. Yeah, I was thinking too, Clemens. If there's too many, if you have too many normal summons, and if your hand's just like bulked up with like monsters, it's just gonna be super rough. So, I think GBO's really figured out the zombie build. So as I guess if you're looking to play the Hordes of the Undead, that might be the build to go to. Alethea nearly taken home with his. I think it's more or less the same build he was using last event. It's pretty. I don't want to say generic, but it's a pretty simple warrior list to use. You cover. It looks like it covers a broad scope of decks. Whether it's monarchs, whether it's just about most things. This is very reminiscent of like the classic like goat warrior decks. You know, you have a line of about like 14 traps and line up about 13, 14 monsters, and then the usual suspects of spell cards. And yeah, the Kaiku being we talked about Kaiku in stream earlier. I think if there's a better way to implement this card into the decks and the deck building, then I think Kaiku can cover a decent amount of matchups here. You can see some of the side deck technology going on. Survivors for the macro match. I feel like this is a deck that could. I mean, I'm no expert deck author, but I feel like it's a deck that could side in like some dimensional fissures for some of those matchups that are really graveyard reliant. Especially if he's already siding Survivor, but Luffy the expert, not me, so this build still got nearly far enough to take it home again, so Luffy knows what he's doing. Again, we talked about how great of a player is. PCM still having that classic representation. Not the 50% as I talked about earlier, but we got the goat Splevin in here. Food made his way into the top 4. Him and Walt have had their bouts. Akko coming in with the macro. Macro, always a frustrating matchup for PCM, and did he play against zombies, and did they face? Oh, I can't. That's not the top 8 bracket. I'll look it up later. But I figured macro would be GBO's worst matchup. Zombies do not want to have their stuff really banished or spun back to the deck. And once these stick the floodgates, it just becomes especially egregious. Our friend in chat, Clemens, beating in his way with the Earth beat. I think is this your second top, Clemens? I think did you top last event too? You guys are looking for more of the simple builds or the decks that are relatively straightforward game plan, then Clemens has been creeping in with he's been the Earth beat guy. Gigante is having a really nice 1900 stat pool. Nice trap lineup of the Legacy of Yata Garasus to dig through that deck. Got the rat pack, grabbing all the useful tools like Lily. I actually really like Lily in this format. Lily also kind of underrated. I know she's not the easiest card to squeeze in for decks. But I think if there's ways to fit Injection Fairy Lily into a build, I think she's great for clearing over some of the big bodies, as well as just applying like burn pressure to life points. I know she's in stuff like the burn, like the baboon burn, the panda burn that has a copy of Green Baboon. But yeah, all these old it's crazy to see how these older DM era cards can still be applied into this was supposed to be the next generation. Granted, I do consider Perfect Circle to be like the last like classic Yu-Gi-Oh format, as in terms like these classic back and forth bouts with like this simple deck building between like warriors and monarchs and whatever else comes through. I do consider this like the last of the classic Yu-Gi-Oh era before Phantom Darkness comes in and completely changes the game. Like gears the game towards boss monsters, gears towards archetype and deck synergy. Well, in this case, it's like attribute. But Perfect Circle, I think that's what really resonates with Perfect Circle above the other GX formats is the ban list is pretty good. There's a few things that should have been hit, and the format is like stable enough that a combination of new players can absolutely find decks to get into and start playing, and they're relatively simple. But there's also a skill ceiling for the big dogs to come in and show their dominance, for lack of a better word. As opposed into the formats onward, we have to be more familiar with combos and play lines and when we get into synchros. So, yeah, don't know much more to say about other than that. Okay, Clive mentioned Horn of Heaven. Stalls are coming in. Well, Sean, I'm gonna say Sean because he goes by Sean Slewed, but Sean here with the gadgets coming to top 8. We're seeing a lot of these beatdown builds in the top 8 now. There's the PCM's got to adapt to all these builds that like to do the beatdown. We got the okay, so we got a bit of a ocean here too, which is interesting. But yeah, Horn of Heaven. Interesting card. I do consider it pretty niche, pretty situational, because you do have to be able to retain that monster to be able to activate it. So I think it's great if you're in a winning position and you want to close out further, but I think it's really hard to use if you're on the back foot. You see why this card didn't see the play that it did, because you better have a worthwhile tribute. I'm surprised we don't see Sangan here because of that, but again, I like to think Sean knows what he's doing. I'm the one that has more to learn than they have to teach. The macro package in the side, I think is really smart for the gadgets because they're not as affected by the banishing effects. Neither are the majority of these cards. Wild Heart is the GOAT. So here's another glance at your top 8. We're seeing a lot of seeing more warrior decks come in as opposed to the classic PCMs. I'm wondering if people are going to start running more counters to these warrior and beatdown builds as opposed to looking out for Perfect Circle Monarch. Just thinking about the future of the Disc Commander Classics or whatever tournaments are going on, because these main deck rugs may not be as effective even if it's just like one copy, even though there's still plenty of things to hit like Stratos and Breaker outside, going beyond the things like Rise of the Storm Monarch. But yes, I want to go down to see some of the other decks that almost made it. Where was it? Oh my gosh. Look what this man is cooking. Now, granted, Zerg did talk about in Discord that he would have liked to change a bunch of these cards, like Raigeki Break flipped into Phoenix Wing Windblast. He wasn't sure about Bazoos in the deck because he admittedly does want to have some of these monsters stay in the graveyard, whether it's these Phantom Beast cards, the Mana Cores. So there might be a little bit of off synergy here, but I think Zerg might be looking to figure this out a little bit better, and it's definitely a spicy build, for a lack of a better word. This is probably the most spicy thing I saw on this event, unless I'm missing anything else. Spirit Control. Oh my gosh. We'll look at that in a second. Granted, Arfio didn't really play. Granted, Arfio did a 0-1 because he wasn't happy with the build. But, where were we? Yeah. It is classified as Bazoo Return, understandably, but the Phantom Beasts are really funny to see. We'll look at each of these individual cards, so, so we have this card, Crosswing. While this card's in the graveyard, Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, and all Phantom Beast monsters in the field gain 300 attack. Oh yeah, I guess they decided that Gazelle would be part of this Phantom Beast archetype. So this card lit up in the graveyard. It makes your other Phantom Beast cards a little bit stronger. Like Wildhorn here will bump up to 2,000. Doesn't necessarily have the... these cards don't really have like the greatest synergy in the world, and the effects are a bit underwhelming, but it's funny. It's funny to see. This card having a piercing effect, which is not half bad, especially if they're setting... You're having to deal like set like Sangans or Spirit Reapers. Can't really get over the spies, but as you saw, we're not seeing as much PCM running around. The other one here, Thunder Pegasus. When opponent's monster collects an attack, you banish this card, make the battle damage taken by one of your monsters 0, and it's not destroyed by battle. So it gives one of your a one-time Waboku to one of your Phantom Beast cards. So gives a little bit of a no Rockless. Yeah, but I know what card you're talking about. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, there's one. Where's the deck? There is one more that came out. I don't even know what set this is from. Like, I don't think there were Cyberdark Impact cards, and I'm kerfuddled as to like when these came out, because I remember when I was a kid having this Rock Lizard card, but I don't remember how I actually got it. This is the other one. I don't think it fits in with this strategy as well. You can tribute summon this card with 1 tribute if it's a Phantom Beast or Gazelle. If it destroys a monster by battle, it inflicts 500 damage to the opponent. When it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard by card effect, inflict 2,000. That could... I don't know. It's so weird. Like, it's in the format, but I don't know, like, if you can really apply this card to the deck. I don't know. You'd have to talk to the Iron Chefs on that one. That ain't PJ. It was a Force of the Breaker promo with Winged Rhinos. Oh, okay. So it came out a little bit later. Yeah, that's so confusing. Tag Force promo. Okay. Some promotional set. Anyway, that's the spicy deck of the format. Don't have too much more to talk about now. Thank you guys for watching. I'm probably gonna take off here. Congrats to GBO winning on zombies. That's really, people are gonna love seeing that. Shout out to Alethea being a 2-time finalist. He's still definitely the player to beat. He's on top of the leaderboard right now, I think. And I hope to see you guys for either another Disc Commander Classic, or if you're interested, if I can get it going, it's very much an if, the Perfect Circle Detox event. We'll see these gentlemen can get their beef settled over who's the best PCM player once and for all. We'll put their skills to the test, but right now I gotta run, so I'll